What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are going live. I need to actually change the name of this live stream. Not what the F happened. My goodness. Pajama party. Pajama. We're going to do it with all of it. Oh, damn it. I got this coming up. What a great way. I thought I had everything set up. Pajamas, crypto, breakout party. Yeah, sure. With C-Zar. That's me. Hello to everyone in here right now. I don't know if there is anyone in here or not. I am going to change the Discord link as well. Man, I normally have all this set up. I was just so excited to come on. But chilling, letting people come in, you know. We're just getting things going on. Hope everybody's having a fun time with the crypto markets right now. Meme coins are on the rise. I hope nobody is making the terrible mistake of selling their meme coins or selling their bags for meme coins that have already pumped is what I was trying to say, actually. So the main focus is going to be pajamas tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's the main focus, the main point of attack. I got to send the link to the Discord, although I'm sure a lot of you guys are already probably in here from the Discord. Let's see here. What do we got going on? Come on now. I'm almost there, guys. We're almost about to get to work, I promise you. There we go. There's 8 people in here. What's up? What's up? I don't know if I missed anybody, but I'm just saying hi now. Oh, let's see. Nope, no chats. Okay, cool. That's good. Make yourself known. Don't be afraid. You know you want to. Marlon with the first comment. What's up, Marlon? Men. You mean man. I have money in Solana, Dog, Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Should I transfer some money from one to another? No. And not financial advice. None of it's financial advice. But Marlon, I just literally said no. Don't do that. Now is probably the worst time to try and switch things around financially, because right now what's going on in the markets is that you've got people who are looking for the next thing, right? Who are ready for their money to go up. They want to make the right decision, right? But if you're trying to put money into something right now, if you're trying to swap things around, you're probably more likely than not, you're going to switch from something that's boring into something that's exciting. And if you do that, then your boring thing will become exciting, and the exciting thing will become boring. You're going to lose your money. Like you're going to buy. I don't know exactly what you'd swap into, but I think swapping it all right now for anything, right? Any kind of coin. Like if you've got Bitcoin Cash and it's not doing anything, swapping that for Bitcoin would be a bad idea right now, right? It'd probably be better if anybody's holding any coins that have been pumping the past like month or the past week. It's better to swap those out. What's up, everybody? Yo, Adam Ram. Can we get a look and opinion at Doge? Yeah, we can do that. Yo, C-Zar. What's up? Kevin, how you doing, bro? Good to see you in here, my man. Francis, how you doing, my friend? Matthew K, what's up? Quick cover. CleanSpark. Oh, damn it. Hey, guys. It's a pajama party, okay? We're going to be talking about pajamas. I've got Bitcoin pulled up. I'm wearing my pajamas. Pajamas is up 271% this week, okay? And that I bought down here. Or I bought a little bit higher. Actually, I bought way higher. I bought like right here at like this. Yeah, like literally right there, actually. Okay. So halfway through the move. But when I did buy over here on this day, right? So everybody who, if they waited for the C-Zar special, you just waited a day or two, maybe even an hour after I call for something to be bullish or I announce that I buy something, it would go down. You probably snag a better price. Seriously, guys, anytime I make a purchase, it's like 9 out of 10 times. If you just wait a day or two, you'll probably get not just slightly better prices, but like 20% better prices than me. What's up, Pac-Man? Thank you, man. Hell yeah, love from Colorado, bro, to my Pakistani friends over there. What's up, bro? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Caveman 3000, what's up, brother? I'm gonna write down all this stuff. We can talk about H-bar, yeah, because I know H-bar is kind of relevant. I need to go grab a notebook, so I'll be back. Okay, you guys will be in the darkness. So while we're doing that, maybe I can play some. No, I'll be quick, man. I'll be quick. You guys just deal with it. You've got the chart to look at. A lot of you probably aren't holding pajamas, but damn it, it just keeps moving up. It's great, man. It is great. Okay, I'll put it on Bitcoin. We can put it on Bitcoin. We'll leave it there because that's probably more relevant for most people. This is a beautiful chart. All right, I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, you guys. I don't know where my notepad is. I don't got a notepad today. Ain't no notepad. So we're gonna have a hard time doing requests, but that's okay. We'll try and work it out. I'll try and keep it sequential. Let's see. Anybody here on the Doge train? I'm not. What's up, Nate, bro? How you doing? We'll cover Jesus Coin. Absolutely, yeah. I'll try to just go in order. So if I'm not communicating with the chat as much, I'd like to just say I'm sorry. But all right, guys. So let's get things started formally. Okay. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. I'd be surprised if any of you are in here now and you haven't subscribed. But anybody who comes in later and sees this. All right. Pajamas. What is it? It's a meme coin. It's a meme coin I've been in since March of this year, right? Been on a hell of a run. I basically round tripped the whole thing, right? Because it definitely, I was up a lot and then I went down a lot. Now I'm up overall. Like I went heavy on it, or heavier on it down here. I'm in the top 100. I'm actually in the top 90 wallets. I was in the top 80 this morning, and I'm getting pushed out because there's more people coming in and buying. I saw one guy put, I was looking at the transactions. There was a guy that put in like 36K at once, right? It does not take a lot of money to be in the top 100, right? I haven't even put 10 grand into this coin, and I'm in the top 100, right? Though it's worth more than that now, that's for sure. But let's see. We're at 0.007858. And this isn't one of my biggest bags, right? Like if anybody's watching this, they're like, oh, this guy's got, and not that it matters. I don't care if I'm investing with $100, with 10K, with 100K, with 100 million. I don't care what I'm investing with. All the information is still relevant, but no, this is one of my smallest holdings, actually. This might, out of like everything I'm holding, this is actually one of my smallest holdings. And even with today's and this week's pump, it still is. But no, this is not a big bag for me. But I am excited. I'm excited anytime, especially on the meme coins, man. What I'm excited about is that you put a small amount of money into it, it can turn into a large amount of money, right? And I don't think it's going to stop growing here. I definitely think it's going to keep growing. I think we will see new all-time highs from a high to a low. Like this is right in the middle of the range that we would expect it to go. The minimum target would be a basic 11x from here. The next target would be a 17x, and the target after that is a 32x. You guys, this coin, Pajamas, is at such a low market cap, okay? Such low market cap. I mean, it was at 4 earlier today, but it's at 8. That's still a really low market cap. For this thing to go to an 80 million in $500 million market cap, whatever, right? Those are very accomplishable tasks to achieve. So if you want to get in, I always say this, right? Normally I say this in the beginning whenever I talk about this, but people always wish they got in early on something. There's no guarantee that this is going to do what I'm saying it's going to do. I'm going to tell you why I think it's going to do that in a second, but there's no guarantee that it's going to see 80 million or 100 million or even $1 billion in market cap. It could, and it could pass all of those, but you never know, right? There's no guarantee. That's why you put a little bit of money in there, because if it has the potential to turn into a lot of gains, why put a lot of money in there, right? Don't risk a lot of money on something that's high risk. Put a little bit of money in there because you get a lot of reward. Anyways, again, I don't know everything. I'm talking higher numbers here. It sounds really good. It looks really good because it's the shiny toy in the sky. But again, if you're holding something like Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin, I know Litecoin kind of pumped today, or Ethereum or something that's not as exciting, right? Don't go switching it out for this. But if you have extra cash on the side, you're trying to get into the markets, I think it might be a good time to get in Pajamas. I mean, maybe not right now. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I bought at a very unideal time, right? If we look at it on a 4-hour period, I'm just going to talk for a second, guys, and then we'll talk about crypto, I promise. Okay, we'll get to everybody's comments and stuff. But I bought, I literally bought the top of this move, guys. I bought at this 4-hour close, literally right here. I'm the reason why, I mean, probably not the reason why it had this wick, but the amount of money that I put in relative to this thing's market cap and the volume that it had on the day, like I was probably half the reason why it wicked up this high right here, right? And then it went down, like literally I bought it at a horrible time. And the reason why I bought it there is because we just broke above the 236. Anytime for a fib trader, if you're a fib trader, you know when you get above the 236, it doesn't matter if you go down. Like normally that means you're at least good to the 382, right? So where I was buying, that amount of growth, that was like a 42% growth. I was comfortable with that, but here we are way higher. It's looking like you want to go to the 618 now. And whenever we interact with that, we will have a better idea if or when we're going to see these new all-time highs, right? I do believe it's going to happen, but we have a lot of work to do in the charts, right? We're barely even like halfway through this full retracement. But this coin, you know, it's getting more volume. It's picking up volume as it's moving up. That's a big deal, guys. That's some significant volume we haven't seen in a while, right? There was no interest, but now there's interest on this thing coming up. There's been eyes on it, and now that it's breaking out of this downtrend it has, there's attention coming back into it, and it's persistent. It's coming up. This is a low liquidity coin, very low liquidity. So you're going to see weird shit like this, right? Where you get a candle that just throbs down like that, right? A big red volume. It doesn't look that big because of all that volume over there, but really big red volume, and like that, big wicks to the upside, big just like volatile movements, and then just boring, crazy nothing, right? That's because what's going on is that somebody or multiple somebodies, however it's working, right? They're putting in a lot of money all in at once. They've probably got a lot of money that they didn't put in over here, right? They're putting in a little bit here, letting it come down, putting in more, and then they put in a lot again, and then they wait some time, they put in a lot again. And now what we're seeing, at least this is what I'm thinking, is that, you know, maybe it was like one or two entities or one or two people, but now there's more people who are probably under the impression, like I am and like all of you guys might be, that this thing is going to continue to increase. So anybody who's had their eyes on this thing, they're trying to put their money in without sending the market up, okay? But there's no real way to do that, right? There's not a lot of liquidity. There's not a lot of volume on this thing. If you want to get in, if you want to get in with a sizable portion, if it's like $100 or less, not a big deal. You can probably set limit orders and figure that out. But if you want to get in and you don't want to mess around, like if you want to put in thousands of dollars or like a semi-serious investment or even hundreds of dollars, you know, you're probably not going to get it at this exact price. You're going to move the price up a little bit with your purchases, right? So even if it's like a 0.5%, that's way more than anything you'd see in like a traditional crypto. So all I'm trying to say is the books are thin, right? This is a $8 million market cap coin. There was $2.9 million of volume in it today. The order books are not thick enough to keep this thing down. It's going to, as it already has, this is probably just the beginning. It's going to just tear right through. It's going to do it. And it just broke out now. And the thing is it a good time to buy here? I don't know, right? I really don't know. From relative high to relative low, it's very common to pull back to the 382, and I think that's not the right high. This is it here. So if you're looking to buy, it might be a better idea to wait until we're at 406. But hold up, we've kind of already, since we hit this target, if you look, we've pulled back to it already, to the 382, and now we're back up again. So statistically speaking, based off of that, we'd actually move up. So it would be a really good time. It's like you're late, but not too late. It'd be a good, I don't know. To each their own. All I would say is, just like me, whenever I bought, well, where was it? Whenever I bought here, okay, I was fully prepared to watch it dump. I even made a joke on the Discord saying that it would probably dump 20% after I bought, right? Because this happens a lot. And especially with fibs, the way I do things, I measure the levels and I see like when it looks convincing to go up to me, right? It looked convincing back here. This is whenever I put a little bit more money into Pajamas as well. And then it looked convincing here, right? Anytime you break above the 236, you look to go to those higher fib levels. So that's why I got in. We're breaking above the 0.5 now. I would say with a high probability, you're going to see the 61869 come into play. And from here, from the current price, that is a 40% move to a 85% move. That's more than what I got in for down here, right? And likely, with how robust we've been with the volume that's growing, we're going to tear through this 61869. If we tear through this 1.2 to 1.5 cent zone on the first attempt, it's undeniable that this thing's going where I'm saying it's going. It could go even further by the end of the year, guys. It's going to happen fast. If it doesn't, if it finds turbulence here on the first time, that's kind of to be expected, actually. Nothing to worry about. And then the second attempt, hopefully we break it, and then we're guaranteed this area as well, right? I doubt it takes more than 2 attempts, but we really could just break through it on the first attempt. Just because we break through it on the first attempt doesn't mean we go all the way up here overnight. No, we could break above it, consolidate for a little bit, and then start heading up more, like going into next month or something, And I don't know how it's going to look, but Pajamas. Celebrating a little bit. I'm wearing my pajamas. I got my robe on. I've got my pajamas, my Christmas pajamas on. I hope all of you do. If not, you need to do better. Okay, there's an etiquette on this channel that we need to uphold. And Mr. Hat, what's up, my man? Adam Ram, yes, 3x long. Oh, he's talking to someone else. Got your own shit going on. I don't know why, but I feel like there's more comments and I'm missing something. So I'm gonna close this out. Everything should be fine from your guys' end, but I'm gonna see if I can. No, just less people comment, and that's okay. I mean, we only got 40 people in here, probably scaring everybody away with the pajamas thing, but we don't care. Oh yeah, Honey Hassan, we'll talk about some LTCN. Yeah, Does the CA end in HOLW? I don't know. Oh, okay. More conversations that I'm just butting into. Okay. Thank you, Matthew K. I appreciate you. Okay, so I'm going to go in order now from like the first request to the next one. But Marlon, being your first comment, asking like moving money around from one coin to another. If I were to move money around right now, I'd probably take profits from Bitcoin and put them into anything that you listed up there, or Dogecoin even. But on this, honestly, I wouldn't take profits from either. I would just hold them. I wouldn't touch anything. If I was genuinely you, and I was looking to switch money around, transfer some money around from one to another, I would hope that there was somebody that I knew who pulled me aside and said, don't do it. Just let it ride, whatever it is. You made your bed, lie in it, okay? It's too late to swap things around. You're probably not going to make the right decision if you swap things around. When you made your decisions, it was during boring times, so it's probably a more thoughtful decision, hopefully. So don't swap it around now in emotional times. I hope that helps. Adam Ram, we're going to talk about Doge. We're going to talk about Dogecoin now, guys. Moving on to Doge, and we're probably going to keep checking back on Pajamas if it moves up or breaks out or does anything stupendous or crazy. I'm going to delete some of these. Maybe I just got to delete. I don't know. I can't really delete. I don't want to delete any of these, so never mind. All right. Doge. I just wanted to see more digits on this, but it's just so far out, right? That's why. It can't get the exponential, or that's not an exponent. What would that be? A decimal holder, a placeholder. I don't know what that would be called. 37 cents right now. Beautiful. Had to move all the way up to 44 cents, baby. Just like Dogecoin to do this miraculous stuff overnight, right? It takes flight when it wants to. You know, I've been saying for a very long time, probably since back here, if not definitely like the majority of 2023 and up until now, right? That I don't expect this cycle for Dogecoin to be like last cycle. And that might seem obvious, right? Why might that seem obvious? Because from a low to a high, we moved up on Dogecoin. You basically did a 550x, right? That's nuts in one cycle. And really, you did that from March 2020 to May 2021. In like a year's time, you did a 550x. That's nuts, right? We're not going to see that this cycle. But what I think that's more obvious. What's less obvious, I think, and what I mean is we're not going to see this, okay? Dogecoin last cycle, it was dead the whole cycle, and then it was alive for a portion of it, and then it was dead again very early on. And I don't think that's characteristic of Doge, right? It topped off here in May. Most cryptos, or at least Bitcoin and a lot of other big cryptos, topped off in November. There were a good bit of cryptos that topped off here as well, but and that was kind of around the end of the bull cycle itself, to be fair. But Dogecoin here, last cycle, the cycle before that, topped off in January. Bitcoin topped off in December 2017. Dogecoin topped off in January. And look at how less, still insane. Absolutely, still crazy, right? Absolutely still insane. But it started earlier and it ended later. And it wasn't just a straight shot up. Even though it was crazy, you had those deep pullbacks along the way. Could this be one of those deep pullbacks? I don't think so. I think if you're waiting, like the only way I would get into Dogecoin personally right now, because it's taken off already, and I don't see it from its current price really seeing more than a 10x. If I'm wrong on that, guys, if Dogecoin has the potential to like 30x or more from here, I'm gonna, like, if we're at above a $10 Dogecoin by the end of the cycle, I'm gonna kick myself in the ass. But I think a $4 Dogecoin is already a tall order, $3 to $4 Dogecoin, and that's kind of my expectations by the end of the cycle, right? So with that in mind, it's not worth it to get in right here. I would have to see this thing pull back probably below 20 cents for me to get in, and I don't think that's going to happen here, right? I think a lot of people want that to happen, and that's why I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is just beginning, and you're going to keep tearing up. If we compare it more back to this cycle here, you can see that this initial move, yeah, you had a little pullback here. You moved down 25% in one day. The next day you moved down a little bit one day, right, just for one day, and then you kept moving up all the way up past your all-time high. Right? This next move, whenever you started, you didn't stop at your all-time high. You tore through your all-time high, right? This move here, whenever it started, you stopped. You had a little pullback here, a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. These aren't days. These are weeks. My bad, guys. One week, not one day. My bad. Back here, those are 1 week periods, not 1 days. I thought that sounded weird. Anyways, you had a little pullback here right before the high, but really you just tore right up through it, right? And then your more significant correction right here, this is actually like a real correction, consolidation phase happened before topping off officially, right? But I'm just saying, you didn't let the highs stop you before. I don't assume you're going to now. I'm not saying that you're going to just do a straight line up there, but basically, yes. any pullback from here, I would think is going to be semi-insignificant, right? If we talk about the high, like you're not, dude. You're not, you're not going to see any prices below where you started this week. Dogecoin's not going below 28 cents for the rest of the cycle, probably. In fact, I think that it won't see a serious correction until after it breaks to new all-time highs, probably above $1. But let's try and gauge that even from here, I guess, right? I'm just going off of what Dogecoin has done historically. I don't get to BitBoy and some people on X, but I'm saying BitBoy specifically because I watched his videos the past couple days, and he's very like at it. It's like he thinks, and he's posted some things on X too, where it's like he thinks he's revealing some kind of grand secret that Dogecoin has no affiliation with the Department of Government Efficiency that Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy are in charge of. I don't understand why that seems like that's information that nobody knew. I think that's very obvious, but for some reason he thinks because Dogecoin has no association with the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, right? It's got no association, and it doesn't have any association other than the acronym. He thinks that means that this rally's fake and it's going to go down. I don't think that's true at all. I think this rally happened with or without the Department of Government Efficiency that Elon started and Trump and Vivek started, right? I doubt that this happened because of that. This isn't a false rally because of that. This is a normal rally. This is a Dogecoin rally, and it's happening exactly when we thought it would, right? For months before this, I said it would be either October or November. It could be as late as December that we start moving up. I think I even said as late as January, but I was thinking specifically October, November. I want to say I was thinking November, but I don't want to toot my horn. Maybe I did. But technically it started in October, whatever. But that was the beginning of the move, right? I forget where I was going with that. I had a point. But it's the beginning of the move. That's the point. This is what the moves look like. This is what the moves look like. They don't look like this. This is a half a move, right? I don't care what the market cap is. Like we literally saw in a 1 week period, we saw us jump all the way up to the prices we were at now. We were at way lower prices. You're telling me that we don't have some oomph left in us? I think we do. I think we spend enough time being boring. I think it's time to move up. But high to low, my guess would be if you were to stop anywhere before all-time highs, it would be basically in the area you're at now. Maybe at the lowest you pull back to 26 cents, but I doubt it. I doubt it. And your next target, like realistically speaking, because it's Dogecoin, only because it's Dogecoin, I think is $1.54. And I mean that 100%. I mean that. I don't not mean that to any degree. You want to know how much I mean that? Let's just see. Let's go. Maybe this is not a good example actually. From this high to this low here. Yeah, it didn't even see the 1272. So that's fair, right? And that can happen. You could fall short of it, but look, you got really close. You got really close to that 1272, and then came down, found support on your 618, and then boom, all the way up to your 1618 there. Okay, from this one here, it's not even. This is just ridiculous. But from a high to a low, you found resistance at your 886, right? Kind of the area that we're at now, actually, right? 886, 786 area. Pulled back to your 618, and then you tore right up to your 1618, right? Why can't I delete this? Where's the thing? There it is. Okay. Here, finding resistance in your 786, 886 area, you could pull back to your 618, which is at 26 cents. That's why I said that. But then after that, you're going up, man. I mean, I think $1.54 is the minimum target for a reason because you really could just skyrocket through that. Who knows? But maybe you see what you saw in the very first cycle where you reach for it and then you pull back, you consolidate, and then you come back up. I do expect this consolidation to probably begin sometime either at the end of this year or sometime in January. When I say consolidation, I mean it will be such an intense consolidation. It'll be a lot more intense than what we saw last cycle. You'll see Dogecoin pull back to prices that are probably exactly where it is now, if not even lower or slightly above, somewhere in this general area, right? After we break above $1, we're going to come back below 50 cents. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? Because, again, I would compare this cycle more to this one over here and not so much to this. I think a lot of people are going to expect this, and truthfully, I think Dogecoin is going to be more methodical this cycle. It already seems to be, but we'll see. Anyways, that was a long rant on Doge there. I hope, Adam, that was what you're looking for. If you want to buy Doge, I suppose it's a good time to buy Doge. Truthfully, like I'm not going to buy it. I think it's too late for me. But I do think it's going to keep moving up, and I think any kind of downside risk is engulfed by the upside potential. Like it doesn't even matter. So unless we're talking about you know, if you want to hold it for the rest of the cycle, I might say look somewhere else. If you want to hold it for the rest of the year, I think this is your guy. This will do good, right? If you want to hold it for the rest of the cycle, maybe look somewhere else. But if you want to hold it for the rest of the year and sell when we break all-time highs and then wait for that pullback and try and double dip, I think that's smart. But if you want to buy here to hold for the rest of the cycle, I would say maybe, you know, not financial advice, do what you want, but I would say there might be other prospects that are better to hold for the rest of the cycle, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. Let's see here. Matthew K., we're going to talk about this, my man. You wanted me to quickly cover CleanSpark. We're going to check on Pajamas here. How's she doing? Oh, no, she's shitting. If Pajamas keeps going down, guys, it means it's a no pajamas party. We have to take our pajamas off. All right, so Dogecoin, no, not Dogecoin, CleanSpark. CleanSpark, okay. We're at 1398 right now on a weekly perspective. I like the RSI a lot. You were overbought. Very dominant, very, very bullish structure with this. You broke down, broke out of it, whatever, kind of reset. You got your lower low here. Did you have a higher low? Yes. That's good. You got overbought. Did you get oversold? No. That's good. You're bouncing off the oversold zone, getting above the 50, staying above the 50. We love seeing that, right? A little bit of a wig-wag here, but that's okay. You kind of did the same thing here before on your way up there. Looking at the daily, little double top in the RSI, and you're below the 60. That's not ideal, but it's not detrimental. I think you'll be fine, right? I have been saying that I expected we would find resistance in this range. And I was thinking we'd go more to the top side of this range, but maybe the truth of the matter is we're finding resistance in this range now. We've pulled back enough. We're at the lows. I doubt we go much lower, right? We filled the gap. We literally filled the gap. If we go lower at all, the lowest we go to is like 1340, 1335, right? That's it. That's the lowest we go to. But CleanSpark, you're probably about to see this thing rip to 20 bucks, 25 bucks. By the end of this month, by the end of November. That's my thoughts on CleanSpark. If I'm wrong, then you are going to consolidate more. You'll probably come up, you'll find like a lower high or something, and you'll consolidate more, probably pull back to like the actual like highs of this, and then you'll move up, right? Get something that's kind of in line with that. That's my thoughts. I don't know. And then you move up sometime in December instead of by the end of this month. But I don't know, right? Let's look at the 3 hours, see if there's any. Why is the RSI? It looks good. The 3 hour RSI looks good, man. 1 hour RSI looks ready to reverse and come back up, right? It's hanging out here, but it's not getting deeper. I don't know. That actually does look kind of bearish on the 1 hour, to be fair. But you would have, it's not at the same time because you're here and you're not doing anything. If we were doing the same thing but to the upside, I would be concerned, right? It's like, I don't know, we're here. We're not really, I guess we were doing a lot more here and we kept growing, so maybe that was a bad example. Here, right here, where we're here, we're up in it, just like here, we're down in it. I'm going to delete that so that it's gone, right? Here you're down in it, messing around. Here you're up in it, messing around. But you're not really doing anything with the price, so you reverse. You're not really doing anything with the price, so you reverse. You're at a standard pullback anyways. I feel like that you would go up. You said to do this quickly, and I'm taking my time, damn it. CleanSpark, for those of you that don't know, this is a crypto mining stock, a Bitcoin mining stock, one of the biggest in the space. Very casual pullback here to the 382. Most of the time you see this where you go right below the 382, that's it, and then boom, you go up. Add that with the fact you're filling the gap, filling this gap, finding support at previous areas of support in a very large consolidation zone. Yes, you're moving up in a very short amount of time. I think I had it right the first time. I don't need to go in more depth than that. I'm very confident in that move. Let's move on to the next one, okay? Shout out to all the 66 people in here. Thank you all for being here. I'm actually surprised that there's not more people in here because I feel like it's an exciting time. And I don't know, maybe it's not, I guess. Bitcoin's not at all-time highs. Maybe I'm just excited for Pajamas. But I don't know. I haven't been able to take my eyes off the charts that much over the past week, so Bitcoin's at 87K. We'll take a pause. We'll talk about Bitcoin real quick. I mean, I stand by. In case anybody didn't see it, I'll pull it up here. Actually, I'm probably not going to pull it up, but I stand by my analysis that I did last night, my long-term analysis. I think it was, what was it? Market dynamics, Bitcoin cycle dynamics. Is that what I had? Where is it? Bitcoin cycle dynamics, expectations for the coming weeks and months. I think, you know, what I said in that video was that, and what we did as far as analysis in that video proves that we really didn't see these corrective phases in Bitcoin, at least not for this move, right? Later in the cycle, this is going to change, right? This is not going to be true always. But for right now, guys, I want you to understand the move that we're in with Bitcoin, this is one of the fastest paces it has in the bull cycle, right? This is other than the very end of it, this is like equivalent to that, right? We're not going to have our blow off top at the end, right? We're not going to have that magnificent finish. That's not what we're having right now, but we are having that post-halving breakout, right? And this one in 2017, this one's a little bit volatile, but your halving was here, right? This is your halving high. When you broke that level in a course of 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, you moved up 46.7%. The cycle before, you moved up 56.6% in a 4-week period. This cycle, even on the shitty cycle, you moved up 36.7%. I just have these numbers memorized because I've done it so many times in the last week. I wish I would always remember it, but I'm probably going to have to do the same stuff next cycle when we're at it, but I'll remember the concept. But again, even here, 4 weeks after we broke above the high, right? Here's when you broke above the high. Was it this week? Would have been this week here. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks, you're up 36.8%. You continued to grow after that, didn't you? You consolidated for a week or two, but really, like this part, again, very fast pace and then slow and then very fast pace, right? And then kind of the end of the cycle there. This is kind of a botched cycle. I actually probably shouldn't have analyzed this part. This is kind of a botched cycle because I think we got robbed of our true finale last cycle. But all I'm really trying to say without getting too distracted is we're in that phase now. We're in that phase now where it's been 1, 2 weeks, and we still have 2 days, basically 3 days left in this breakout period. Historically speaking, throughout every Bitcoin bull cycle, we have at least another 2 weeks. Statistically likely, probable, not guaranteed, but it's a safe bet to make that by the end of this month, we will continue to grow. And throughout all of those times, I went through, and that's why I referenced this video here, the Bitcoin. Maybe I'll post it in the description or something. We can just do that real quick. I'll just say, here's the effing video. I don't know. Video, I don't know. We'll put that in there. And hopefully I can remember what I said. I'm doing the Trump weave right now. Damn it, I can't remember. Oh yeah, we analyzed in that video all the daily kind of price actions that we saw in that immediate growth after breaking your pre-halving high. When you broke your pre-halving high, we're on a weekly basis now. In this video, I went through and I dissected what we did on a day-to-day basis, and it rhymes with this. It rhymes with, we moved up in a straight line when we didn't stop for more than a day or two, right? Here we are right now, basically moving up in a straight line. We've stopped for about a day now, right? We stopped for a day here, then pressed on higher. We stopped for a day yesterday. We could have a red day today, but that's it. If today is red, if today being Friday is red, then that means we're going to have another green weekend. We're going to have a green Saturday and a green Sunday, right? And that actually does tend to happen in moments like this in the cycle, right? A lot of people expect that you'll pull back on these CME gaps that happen over the weekend, and then we just keep going up anyways, right? And then later we get some kind of significant correction that fills most of the gaps, but not all of them need to be filled. We have plenty of CME gaps that don't get filled, and those gaps that don't get filled happen in moments like this in the cycle. In fact, I bet you could go back to last cycle if you really wanted to. I'm not going to do it here. Go to a CME gap that happened at your post-halving breaking out high. No, we definitely filled that because we came back down, didn't we? Wouldn't we have filled it? Let's see. I'm actually kind of curious. Let's see. I guess we wouldn't have filled it. No, we would not have filled it. So yeah, breaking out from here, I bet any gaps that happened between 14K and 16K did not get filled, right? And they still haven't been filled, and they never will be filled. So I'm just saying we don't have to fill gaps, okay? And there's plenty of gaps after that too that haven't been filled. Getting back to the main point, statistically speaking, off of every cycle, if we were to see a sizable correction right now, guys, that lasted for more than the next 19 hours and 31 minutes, that would be uncharacteristic of anything we've seen in Bitcoin's history. So I'm going to say the same message before I start talking about more requests and trying to engage with the comments a little bit. Same thing I've said in every video for like the past week and a half now, is that it's a great time to buy. Most people are going to say, wait for the pullback, right? Because they're uncertain, they're uneasy. And the reason why they're uncertain and they're uneasy is because they're conditioned over the last 7.5 months of the bull cycle, right? They think that every move up now has to come down. We have to abide by the rules of gravity. But in moments like this, there's zero gravity. We really don't stop for long. We continue to move up. This is a moon mission right now, guys. We're in a breakout move. And genuinely speaking, the longest stint of a move down or a consolidation that we saw in the first 4 weeks of breaking above our pre-halving high, which is the move we're doing now, the biggest move down we saw was like, it took 2 days. You know, like it doesn't take longer than that. And then it was like a 10 to 16% move. 16%, but that 16% move that happened, that was actually after the initial move that moved up. I'm not going to go through all this stuff. Just if you want to, you can look at that video, right? And then the very first cycle, there were 20% corrections, but those corrections still lasted a day at the most, right? All I'm trying to say is this price will not be here long. If you're waiting for lower prices, it's not going to come. The lowest that we'd probably get from here might be like 85K, but I'm not completely convinced that we do that. I definitely believe that we're going to continue to move up. On X.com today, I made a post right after this low here saying it's undeniable that that's the low and we're moving up from here. And of course, the next 4-hour candle denied me, so we went lower. But I still believe that if this is not the low, we're very near it, right? I don't think we're going to go too much lower, but time will tell, right? I very much doubt we would go below 85K. And I think that if not by the end of today, by the end of tomorrow's candle, we will be firmly in the 90K range, like well, probably above 95K. Okay, that's my short-term outlook for Bitcoin, if that makes any sense. And if you want a more in-depth analysis, I really encourage you to watch that video. Let's look at some comments now. Good evening, Shadow Frost. Good evening, my friend. Hell yeah. Oh, thank you, Marlon. That's awesome, man. It's been a lot, dude. We've come a long ways in a year, my friend. A long, long ways. I was messing around with leverage the other day on Peanut, turned 20 cents into $9, bro. Yeah. Hell yeah, you did. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, OMT, that happens because when you're dealing with that money, right, that's such a low amount of money, you don't care about it. Your risk management's just out the window. You don't care. So you could win like 10 trades in a row. You could turn that 20 cents into $200, but you'd probably just liquidate it all away eventually because nobody's perfect, right? And if it's money that doesn't matter, you're probably going to treat it like it doesn't matter. Where if it was like more serious money, well, you probably wouldn't have hit a 50x leverage for one, but then also maybe if you were in the negative, you would take your losses more seriously. You wouldn't. But still, that's fun. I don't know. I love trading in ways like that where you do like little bits. You get the itch out of the way. That's really cool though, dude. Turning 20 cents into $9 is that's pretty dope. That's pretty badass, actually. A lot of people might not be impressed by that, but any trader in the world would be like, "That's badass, dude. That's a really good trade." But you didn't walk away with it, so it doesn't count. Love you, Pac-Man. We already went over this, but I love you. I'm just rereading some comments now. You on the LTC Jester hype? I don't know, Caveman. What's LTC Jester? What is that? I don't know. Bought in at 2.6 after your call. 2.6. Francis, did you buy Pajamas at 2.6? You son of a... Oh, good job, bro. Dude, you did... If that's what I'm thinking, you like 0.0026, is that what you're saying? Sorry, my cat's meowing. I thought it was my daughter crying. If you bought there, bro, good job. You're doing like twice as good as I am on this growth, right? Like here's me, right? There's me. I'm up 66% from my recent position like 2 days ago. And then here's Francis. He's up 159%. Son of a beautiful person, I'm sure. Good job. Good job, man. That's awesome. That's what I mean, guys. If you just watch me make a purchase and then you wait a day, you too can be like Francis and make more money than I do. It's not that hard. I genuinely think, I'm not even kidding, guys. I think every time I make a public purchase, I make it known. Maybe there's been like 1 or 2 times that we haven't seen the price drop immediately, like that day afterwards. And it comes back within the week. It's all valid. It always comes back, right? And we end up buying at a good time regardless. But It's irrelevant after the drop, but I just feel like that always happens, right? And it's because of the way that I do things. It's because of how people think that I'm buying at bad times, and maybe I'm buying at bad times to them. I would love to buy the bottom, but I'm more the kind of trader I am, the kind of investor I am. I don't have the balls to buy right here. I don't have the balls to buy right here. But when you break above this blue line, whenever you do something bullish that suggests you're done going down and you're going to start a new trend, I don't care if I'm buying the high of the move. I'll let it go down. I'll buy more. I didn't buy more because I'm in the top 100. What business do I have buying more of a coin that only has $8 million and I'm in the top 100 wallets for? So, but normally you would buy lower because that means there's more to come, right? That's the kind of trader I am, right? I don't care if I catch the absolute bottom. I just don't want to be sweating it. I don't want to buy here and then it goes lower and then I'm like, oh. I would rather go up here, buy, and it goes lower, and I'm like, yes, we're about to rip now. I don't know. So you'll see that a lot of times. I'm not even kidding, guys. Most of the time I make an announcement that I'm going to buy something. You wait a day. Mana, even, my most recent purchase, like literally, it went down afterwards, right? So, but good job, Francis. I think that's the one you're talking about. BB, you want me to talk about H-Bar? Let's talk about H-Bar. Now, you guys, I'm aware that there's an ETF being filed. I'm not aware how seriously it's being taken. I wouldn't think, what is H-Bar? H-Bar on Grayscale. What is it? Grayscale. GBTC. Is it G? I want to say G-Bar, but it's not H. H-Bar is Hedera. I can't remember. There is an H-Bar on Grayscale. I just can't remember what it is. Whatever though, whatever. I'm sure someone's saying it in the comments now. But let's talk about H-Bar. Let's do it real quick. Hold on. Hold up now. Okay. So I don't know the logistics of the ETF or not. I don't know how serious that is, but you're at, oh, this is the market cap. We don't want the market cap. We want USD. Isn't there a Grayscale H-Bar? Am I just making that up? I'm going to scroll to the bottom of the comments real quick. Cat reacts to Pajama Cat. This bull market next one, I will not be buying in the bull at all. I'll be buying hugely in this. Hell yeah. Good job believing on the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, bro. No, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it right. Even more importantly, when you take profits, and I've heard a lot of people say, you guys, I've heard a lot of people say this recently. I've heard a few people say this just over like the months. I'm not going to cite all my sources. There's some psychopath that gave me shit, tried to say I was a liar for not citing my sources. I don't need to cite my sources, but you guys can trust me. I'm not lying to you. I've heard it with my own ears. Plenty of people saying that the goal is to sell and then wait 12 months and then put the money back in the markets. I'm having this theory, and I've had it developing over the past year, but more and more, as it seems like the obvious choice that most people seem to be saying, or at least these big channels seem to be saying, that we sell at the end of the bull market and you wait a year before you put money back into the bull market, it makes me think that this upcoming bear market might be shorter than we expected it to be. And whenever I say it might be shorter, I don't mean that means we're going to have a bull market sooner than I expect it to be, or than we would expect it to be. I might mean something like what Dogecoin did, right? Let me explain, right? Dogecoin had a very, very, very short bear market, right? It was over in June of 2022. That's when its low happened. But Bitcoin's bull market started in January of 2023. Dogecoin didn't start its bull market like really, arguably until October of that year, or realistically like this year, right? That's when it started its bull market. One could make the argument that it's been in an uptrend ever since, but I would say this is a very long, drawn-out sideways phase. And we just cracked that shell. We literally just did that. So all I'm trying to say is this might be more on par with something that we see in Bitcoin next cycle. And then people are going to get the 2019 vibes where they're going to remember this flat, like just flat land, and we broke down. I don't know. All I'm trying to say is I'm thinking we might have a shorter bear market this cycle for Bitcoin. That's my thoughts. But no Grayscale H-Bar. Okay, Terror, thank you. Because I got really, I don't know what happened there, but I got all twisted up. H-Bar. H-Bar, guys. We're talking about H-Bar. Hedera Hashgraph. What I love about this coin is, and I'm not going to name names because there are YouTubers that I like out there who've made this mistake, but there are some people that come to mind that were specifically talking up H-bar and specifically talking shit on Doge. And I was in their face like, no, dude, no, you got it backwards. But it's so nice. But H-bar is going to do well, man. H-bar is going to move up for sure. I just think it's fun. Like when people, because I love Dogecoin. I'm not holding any Dogecoin, but I really do love Dogecoin. It's got a special place. I think if you've been in crypto long enough, you have to love Dogecoin, right? It's the underdog, and now it's the top dog. Like you got to love Dogecoin. If you've been in crypto long enough, you've got to. But H-bar, you know, the reasoning why people don't like it is because it's got an unlimited max supply, so it's permanently inflated. But what people don't stop to consider is that its inflationary rate is less than the US dollar, and if it's not, eventually it will be. Its rate of inflation is at a consistent emissions rate schedule, but that percentage will go down, right? It's not a consistent percentage, it's a consistent rate in total coins. So the inflationary rate itself will be a deflationary inflationary rate. It will get smaller and smaller year after year. So the rate of inflation is inevitable whenever you're comparing it to the US dollar, because its rate of inflation will basically have asymptotic behavior down to zero, okay? While the US's inflation rate will consistently be anywhere from like 1.5% to 9% or more. We never know, right? Like and generally like 3 to 5% is what they say. But with that, if Dogecoin has a lower rate of inflation, then over time, as long as there's interest in this thing, it's only going to go up versus Bitcoin. So anybody saying Dogecoin is going to go down because it has a max supply, that might devalue it over time from its max potential, but that's not going to devalue it over time versus the US dollar. And there's a difference, right? BB, you've been so patient. We're going to talk about H-bar, okay? ETF, blah, 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 approval. You know, it's up 40% this week, month, 18% this week. I don't know if the ETF is going to get approved, and I think actually we probably got that right. Oh, no. When was this? When was this? Let's see. H-bar ETF news. I don't know. When did this come out? 2 days ago? Do we have anything from later than that? 2 days, 3 days ago? Nice speculation. Hedera ETF launch. Oh, 3 weeks ago. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if the ETF is going to get approved or not. I don't know if that has any relevance. Fundamental and media-driven analysis is not my forte, so let's just forget about that, right? I wanted to give some input, but the reality is I have no input. So the weekly RSI hitting the oversold zone, getting into it, getting out nice, right? Seems that you've broken out of this downtrend potentially in the RSI. You might be forming a new uptrend. That'd be nice. You're not looking the strongest, but you're definitely turning a tide right here. I'd like to see you get above this green line, the 123 moving average, which right now that's at about 6.65 cents. Get your weeks to start closing above there, and then we can talk about prices that are back up around 20 cents to 47 or 42 cents and higher, right? I do believe H-bar will see new all-time highs this cycle. I absolutely do believe. I hope nobody was confused by that whenever I was doing a little victory lap there in the beginning. I think it is going to see new all-time highs, right? It's worth 6.5 cents now. $1.20 is the minimum target, right? You've got this very kind of bullish structure of like a double bottom. It's like an Eve, and you could set up an atom pattern out of here. Eve and atoms are some of the most bullish bottoming patterns that exist. We don't know if it's going to be an atom. The Eve is the cup. The atom is the V, right? Most of the time it's Adam and Eve. Sometimes it's Eve and Eve. Sometimes it's Adam and Adam, right? It's 2024. We're all accepting of that now, right? But could this take a more traditional approach and give us an Eve and Adam? I don't know. At this rate, I suppose the odds would be more so that it would be, even Eves are more common than even Adams, but with where we are in the cycle, I guess it would make more sense as this saying even Adams out. I bet it does, dude. I bet H-bar sees a V-shaped recovery. This is on a monthly basis, so I'm not saying it's going to be up here tomorrow or here tomorrow, but, and generally V-shaped recoveries, right, what they do is like if this was the start of the V, okay, generally you go past the start. That's how you know that the V-shaped recovery. Generally with V-shaped recoveries, you go past where it began. Okay, and it just so happens right past that goes into the golden zone. Although I do think you'll continue past it. That's just the rule of thumb, that you stop just like kind of at or above where it began. But there's plenty of times where V-shaped recoveries continue afterwards, or you consolidate and then you continue afterwards, you know, like whatever. But absolutely, I think that you're in some kind of W-shaped pattern, right? And you're going to see not just new highs relative to this, but new all-time highs overall. If this is an overall W pattern, right? If this is an overall W pattern, then likely same thing as like the V-shaped recovery, you would go, if it's a successful W, you would go past this. If H bar can't get above 41.5 cents this cycle, then it's dead. It's dead in the water. It'll be irrelevant for the rest of the time. But even then, 41.5 cents from 6.5 cents, that's not bad. That's not bad targets. I really think $1.21 to $3.15 by the end of the cycle is possible. Let's get the, what's it called? Market cap. Why can't I type? My fingers are all jittery. 2.4, let's call it 2.5 billion just to make it easy. Okay, so that gives me a little less hope, but I don't know what numbers we're dealing with here. No, I think you could. I genuinely think H bar could break $3 this cycle. Yeah. I think it might even go higher. It actually has the potential to go higher. That's great. That's awesome, right? Because I think H bar could see a $100 billion market cap, and if you were to get above to like your 1886, the next fib target after the 1618, you'd basically see a $200 billion market cap. I don't know if you go that high, but I think it's possible. You're in your second cycle. H bar's got some promise to it. You guys genuinely, you're at 6.5 cents. You could see H bar 100x from here, from the current price. You could. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it only does an 18x. Maybe it only does a 47x. Boo-hoo. You know, none of that's promised though until we break above 41.5 cents, and I do think you will. But truthfully, right now, the thing that I'm the most confident on right now is that you're going to have some kind of eruptive, explosive movement out of here. Yeah. Right. By the end of the year, I would think you're at 6.5 cents now. By the end of the year, I would think you're either at 15 cents or above it. Okay. You really could be above this high by the end of the year, but time will tell. Okay, that's H bar. Let's keep going. Can you please cover Jesus Coin for Nate Bra? We're going to talk about Jesus Coin. Yeah. Let's check in on Pajamas here. Ooh, looking frisky, y'all. Looking frisky, right? You can see the sense of urgency from the buyers, right? More volume coming in, more close together too, right? Growing this up. A lot of people, I got distracted with all the talk that I was doing earlier too, but a lot of people see these big wicks and they think it means that we're going down. But, and maybe I did address this, but I just didn't address it as clearly as I wanted to. But these big wicks happen because somebody or multiple somebodies put a lot of money in at once, so it pumps the price because there's no liquidity, so it just sends the price up there, right? Because there's very thin books, but then there's no more money to buy because it's very thin books. There's not a lot of liquidity. There's not a lot of volume. There's not a lot of buying interest, okay? Since there's no more buying interest, the price regulates back down to normal, right? But then once it does that, then they put their next bid in, right? And now that we've done this pretty consistently over the last like 12 hours, I'm wondering if we'll see a steady pullback, right? And then kind of like do what we did here and just like slowly kind of prod and move our way up like that. Or if things are catching on and we're really going to start sending it. I don't know. But a lot of people, when they see stuff like this, these huge wicks with huge volume, they think that means that somebody sold. Really what that means is somebody bought down here, sent it up here, and then because nobody else bought along the way, it just returned back down here, right? There was more volume undeniably on the way up than there was on the way down. And I actually went through the order books to confirm that. But I mean, and it's obviously all the same, right? Every buy is a sell, every sell is a buy. I guess there's no actual way to confirm that necessarily, but there was big buy orders that came in and set the price up, right? Not big sell orders. On the way down, it was very small sell orders. There were some big ones, but not compared to the buy orders. Anywho, Jesus Coin. Talking about Jesus Coin. So Jesus Coin broke out just as I said it would. I said it in the next day or two it would break out, but we're breaking out to the downside, damn it. No, not good. This is a bad Jesus. I think it's going to be okay. I really do think it's going to be okay. I'm not worried about Jesus Coin at all. We're really just in the same zone. And the reality of the matter is, and it might make more sense this way, I've been comparing it to this zone over here, saying that I expected it to be shorter than this zone, but this was a quick move. I'm expecting this move to take a longer amount of time. Maybe this consolidation phase takes a longer amount of time, right? 5 weeks here of consolidation. We're in our 5th week now. Maybe this is our week to break out. Maybe it's next week, but however it is, I'm not concerned. We dropped 50% twice over here, and I think 20% once already here. We've dropped like, let's see, from a high to a low, basically 50%. And then from our other high to low, we dropped 30%. We're dropping now 33%. So we've gotten a few drops out of the way. It would be nice if this was a higher low. That's all I'd like to ask. But if not, you know, whatever. As long as we're holding these lows, that's okay. And I guess I'd like to see it be a higher low. Not whatever. It needs to be a higher low. If it goes below that low, unless it's some kind of fake out and we get some kind of weird triple bottom right here, then that would be bad. Breaking these lows would be bad. So don't do that. Form a higher low. But it could go lower than it is now. 6-0, 1785 right now. Daily move came up. We've got a little wick here. Low liquidity coin though, so these candlestick patterns don't matter as much, right? They can, but they don't sometimes. We could go lower. We really could go lower. I want to kind of analyze this move real quick and then see from a, nope, that was not the low. That was not what I meant to do. Low here, high here to the 0.5, low here. How's it going, everybody? I hope you're all having fun in here. Thank you all for being here. 61869 pull back there, and then high to low here, or low to high here. Not even to the 61869. Nice. Okay, so then low to high here. I guess I really wouldn't expect that you go too much lower based off of what we've seen. But the lowest I would expect you to go if you were to move lower would be 60154. We're at 6017 now. So Jesus coin, kind of like Pajamas, I expect it to do a lot in a very short amount of time. You know, from the current price to the all-time high, that's a 225% growth, and I think we will be above that, not just by the end of this year, but by the end of this month. I think we have a really solid chance of doing that. If not by the end of this month, certainly I would think that we're up here by the end of the month, but by the end of the year, absolutely new all-time highs are on the table. So, and I feel pretty confident with that bet, right? I really do think that it's going to move up more than 225% from here to the rest of the year. We could be as high as 5011. We could be as high as this by the end of the year. We really could, but we might not. You know, I've kind of reformed my idea of what I think this move up is going to look like. I don't think it's going to be as fast as the prior two moves. I think it's going to be more structured on the way up. So these prices, you know, I think 5011 could be by the end of this year. We can leave that there. It could easily be sometime next year. But these prices, I think, and above will be reserved for the beginning of next year, I think. So a lot of growth to come for Jesus coin. It's a bigger market cap than Pajamas is. But Pajamas has been seeing more volume recently, right? Like 21-hour, $3 million in volume. Jesus coin, I don't think, even saw $1 million in volume, and it's at like a $33 million market cap. But I digress. Let's keep going. You guys, I am going to end this video soon, just so you know. I've had a lot of fun. I really appreciate it, guys. I wanted to come on and do the Pajamas party, get some Bitcoin analysis and stuff, but it is getting late. I started this stream a little later than I intended to, but I had some stuff going on I had to tend to, and I am going to go to bed here in probably 8 minutes. So say your goodbyes, you know, get your requests in. I'm probably not going to get to all the requests, but let's just keep going. Seems like so anybody here on the Dogecoin train, seems like the good news keeps coming. Yes, it does. Blessed to be a part of this community. We got this, friends. Stay strong. Hell yeah, Pac-Man. You know it, bro. You know it, man. Word is that in 24 hours or so, the SEC will comment on the LTC ETF. Oh, damn. Here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts, caveman. I don't think there's going to be an ETF approved for LTC. Because if there was, LTCN would not have pumped 11% yesterday. So, no is my answer. I don't think anything about it. Or maybe they file it, but it won't get approved. I don't think you would have pumped like this if that were the case, personally. The cacti have arrived. What's up, MJ's Fusion? How you doing, my friend? How come the market cap of Turbo is the same as the 24-hour volume? Oh, damn. Really? Is that true? That's not a good oh damn, by the way. That's actually normally not good, you guys. You don't want to see, and it's not condemning, it's not always bad, but in my experience, whenever you see your volume getting close or above your market cap, that's not a good thing, right? Normally. Let's look. That'd be weird though, because Turbo, I'm not going to change the Pajamas one. What am I doing? We're going to leave that up. Damn it, I should have changed it. It went down. I don't want to see it. All right, Turbo's a good looking one though, right? It's supposed to be a good meme coin. But of course, it pumped a lot, and now everybody wants it, so it makes sense that it might move down. Let's look and see. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know. Let's see. Turbo. Do we get any volume? No, not on the crypto chart. Maybe on Kraken. I wonder which one would be the best volume. And right, they might not all be on exchanges. It's just on-chain volume, right? I would think. Maybe it's all exchanges. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's not encouraging. I actually don't like that personally. Let's look at this here. Is that even accurate? It wouldn't show it on here. Is there anyone? I'm sorry guys. I know. I'm doing the opposite of Turbo right now. I'm slowing it down. Let me see, volume. Nothing with the volume that we're looking for. That's okay because it's on centralized exchanges now, so people don't use DEXs as much to buy it. So that's fair. Whatever. I can't find an accurate representation of the volume on the charts, but we do see it here. With that in mind, you guys, Turbo might move down, y'all. Turbo might correct. Let's see. I wonder if we got some bearish divergence here. No bearish divergence. You do not need bearish divergence to top off, just so you know. You don't need it, right? You had a top here, and there was no bear. Actually, there was bearish divergence, to be completely fair. Or technically not, because that high was lower than that high there. I don't know. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't, but I'm getting caught up in the semantics. Really, I'm just, before I say this thing is going to correct massively, I want to make sure I'm looking at it right? Because that's a bold call to make. And it looks like volume's not increasing, but that's not the truth, right? We already know that. So don't pay attention to the volume here. On a daily basis, weekly basis, dude, if Turbo doesn't close green this week, I'll say this actually instead. Okay, as long as Turbo is closing above that, then you're okay. As long as it's closing above 0.007322, then you're okay. But if you get 1 week to close below that line, you're likely not stopping until you see 200517 to 200. Sorry, let me say it differently. 0.00517 to 0.0046. I said 200. I meant 2 zeros, but then I said 200. That didn't make any sense. 0.0051 to 0.0046. And if you don't stop there, you could genuinely pull all the way back to 0.0019. You could. You've had quite the rally. I don't know what to make of that, right? Turbo is the same. Do you think about Robinhood listing? Robinhood could be listing it, and if there is a big exchange or a big entity trying to acquire some, like, on the open markets, I guess, that there'd be a lot of volume coming in, but why isn't the price moving up, right? Oftentimes, when we see the exchanges buying a crypto, this is what they're doing. And then they list it up here, right? If an exchange was buying a crypto, I mean, it makes sense if Robinhood is going to list it soon, then yes, it would make sense that it'd be up here. Because if they list it, that's when you normally go down. It's after the pump, but this isn't Robinhood buying. That would be more so. I don't know. And why would an exchange buy it here and then list it all the way over here? That wouldn't necessarily make sense. I suppose it is better timed technically, but I don't know. Getting too caught up with this one. But Turbo, at this moment, I do think it looks like it wants to go down. I don't know yet if it wants to move lower, like lower. But I don't like the daily RSI. The weekly RSI is concerning. And the 4-hour looks like it all looks like it wants to move down. So really, my best thing to say would be don't close below. You can close a day below. If you close multiple days, 2 or more, then it would be equivalent, in my opinion, to closing a week below 0.007322, okay? Multiple days in a row. I want to be clear, multiple days in a row, right? Like you closed one day here below, but that wasn't enough. If you closed multiple days below, I would think then you're going to see some kind of standard retracement of this low to high move at a minimum, And the minimum next step, because you're at your 382 now, rejecting your 236 potentially, minimum next step would be 0.00517 to 0.0046. If not there, you're seeing an extension of this move, which would probably be a deeper retracement of the overall move up that you had, right? Which, if we take that into consideration, low here to this high, and we take in this low here, nope, that was not the low, this low to that high, you know, you've got a standard retracement zone right here between 0.0019 to 0.0011, crossing that significant 382, an area that you found resistance on before, and a very common area to pull back on when dealing with very bullish moves like this. So you could go very low from here. I'm not expecting this. I'm throwing it on there because it's a possible outcome, right? I'm not expecting this. I'm more expecting this personally, but it's not even fair to actually consider these lower prices until you close 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, multiple days or 1 week close below there, right? Essentially below your 382. Okay, so makes sense from a price perspective and from a fib perspective, in my opinion. So that's Turbo. Let's keep moving on through. It's 10 o'clock where I'm at, guys, so I am going to go to bed here soon, but we can chill for a little bit. What's going on with Jesus, First World Crusader? I don't know, man. If you're still here, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Jesus. I would guess we're playing a little game of peekaboo. I know we just talked about it, but I just want to look at it real quick again. I don't know. Consolidating. You know, I'm not worried about it. We have bearish divergence. Oh, that's not it. This is terrible. That means Jesus coin's going to reverse here. No. The divergence formed from here to here. We've already fulfilled it. It's already fulfilled. It's irrelevant now. We moved down 25%. The divergence was real. This was the move that we got. No more to be worried about. I mean, maybe we go down a little bit more, but I doubt we go below these lows here, right? That's my genuine interpretation of Jesus coin. But let's talk about LTCN for Honey Hassan, right? Probably should have talked about it. I teased you a little bit earlier, but let's see. Hello, Mr. Hat. I said hello earlier, but I forgot to. I went up to the top of the comments after that. Mr. Fonzie, what's going on, my boy? I knew you were ready for bed, of course. Yeah, this is that time of day, man. Glad that you're here, though. I wonder if you're still here. If not, hey, I don't know. He doesn't do the finger guns. What am I doing? Okay. Oh my God. I told you guys. I'm trying to go to bed. C-Zar, please cover some ETC at some point. Andre, I will try. We're going to move through this, and then we're going to try to get some ETC, okay? BTC.D is a good chart. Maybe we'll end it on that. We'll talk about both of them. Okay, so LTCN, clearly, very obviously, and I have never really wavered in my faith that this thing would go up, right? There is the ETFs kind of scary, that kind of thing, but as I've said, I don't think an ETF will get approved for LTC, not this cycle. Yes, there's filings, but whatever. Doesn't mean that it's going to get approved, right? Until it's a Grayscale trust filing for one of these ETFs, I wouldn't consider it to be real, right? Because I don't think the big dogs are going to get left out of like any kind of thing like that. But you never know. You never know. That is the risk that you run with these Grayscale trusts, right? An ETF coming out. But the thing is, an ETF coming out for one company doesn't mean it's an ETF for the Grayscale Trust, but by default, if another company gets an ETF approved, they would probably immediately file for the ETF, and then you drop down to your NAV price, no longer gaining from your premiums. But I don't think that's anything to, I mean, it's something to be concerned about. Sure, it's something to consider in your investments, of course, but I genuinely don't think it's going to affect this market cycle, maybe next cycle. Maybe they'll do that over the bear market when it makes more sense and it affects less of their clients because they have a lot more clients in LTC, or LTCN. But truthfully, you know what I think you did here, it's kind of like the opposite of what you did on Turbo. You hit your 382 for resistance. On Turbo, you hit it for support. You found support on your 236. On Turbo, you found resistance on your 236. Turbo looks like it wants to go down. This thing looks like it wants to go up. The next target area would be, just like for Turbo, the 61869. But here you're talking about $27 to $31.43. You're at $16.46 now. That is my stance. At the rate we're growing, it could be by the end of the year. But, man, if Litecoin decides to break out, because Litecoin did some friskiness today, a little bit. Getting a little frisky this month, right? Up 15%. It's not a lot for crypto, right? But for Litecoin, that's a lot these days. Then yesterday it moved up 9%, right? If it keeps moving up, and that's a lot of volume too, I mean, this could get things going. You have a little bearish divergence there too, but it's just a little, like if you move down, whatever, it's not going to be that significant. But if Litecoin gets going, then I would say not here by the end of the year, or no, maybe by the end of this month. Sorry, this is on a monthly. Yeah, at this pace, you know, maybe that is more by the end of the year. I don't know. I would expect that you break out of this. I don't think that you're gonna find resistance here. I say that as I said that, I'm like, you could, maybe you do. You went just above your 382. You found resistance here before. You found support here before. Maybe you do. Technically speaking, the way that you're moving now, I would expect you to move just up to the 61869 in a straight line, genuinely. And then you're breaking out of this, and subsequently breaking out of this, right? Your lower high trend, which you've already kind of broken out of. And that would make sense that you move straight up because it's like a breakout move. I'm going to stick with it, but don't be surprised if you find resistance around like 25 bucks. But I'm going to stick with the 27.66 to 31.43 call. Very confident you find resistance there. And with the way that you're moving, with what I anticipate to happen, I would think by the end of the month, that's where you are. By the end of the year, I would think you're either around $45 or you're at $88 or higher, right? Like it just depends. It really depends on Litecoin, right? I think for this thing to get going. And I do believe that this ETF scare stuff that's going on with the Grayscale Trust, it'll go away with just a little bit of time, right? All it takes is a little green side for you to forget the downside, and vice versa. But that's LTCN. Let's talk about ETC, and then we'll talk about the dominance. And then I got to go to bed, guys. I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling heavy. Let's see. Hit that like button and subscribe on your way out, y'all. XMR's price, yeah. OMT, XMR, and like the rest of crypto, bro, they've all been disappointing this cycle. Like it really, you know, my whole goal this cycle was to set myself up, buy a bunch of cryptos and not touch it until the end of the cycle. And I think that's a great goal. I think that's a way to minimize risk, right, and up your chances for making money. But with my experience in the markets and knowing what I know and like retrospectively, I think instead of having like 95% of my portfolio set up for long-term holds going into next cycle, I might make it more like 50-50, right? And have some play money. And then from those gains, try to add, I don't know. Well, you know, it all sounds nice right now. You never know. Like the plan is nice, but you apply it to real life. Life doesn't care about your plans. I digress, right? 21.65 is what we're at now on a monthly basis. You guys, I never wear these pajamas, and there's a reason for it. I'm really hot and sweaty right now. It's actually not comfortable at all. So that's part of the reason also why this video needs to end. But let's see. High to low. High to low here. Ethereum Classic. 382 rejection below the 236. Not orthodox, but it happens. It does happen. Weekly RSI actually doesn't look bad. It really doesn't look bad. I don't like the rejection off the 236, to be completely fair. But your daily RSI looks good, and the weekly RSI doesn't look bad. I think if you pull back more from here, and you might, I think you find support here at 20 bucks. 20 bucks, you're at 21.70 now. So not a lot. And then from there, you're probably going to rally on up to back at these highs, and you probably don't stop, right? Like you'll probably, like maybe you consolidate or something, but then you like go up more. With the given time frame that we have here, that'd put you like May of 2025 that you'd be up here. I mean, I don't know. I could see this exact time frame because ETH Classic has been moving slow, and that could be a good time frame. Genuinely, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to just like tear right through the roof and then go up to your 618, or I would think you find a little turbulence, but you find support on the 382, and then you move up. Where here you kind of found resistance on it. I think you find support, and then you move up. So by the end of the year, I would expect ETH Classic, you're at 2180, you're at about 40 bucks, unless you get a fire under your ass and you do that thing that cryptocurrencies do at this time in the market, and you really decide to pump. Then I would say you have a chance to see 63 to 77 bucks by the end of the year, but much past that, I wouldn't guess. Right now, I think let's stay conservative and then be pleasantly surprised if I'm wrong. There's a chance, again, this is crypto. You never know, but I doubt it. I doubt that it just does this by the end of the year. And I don't doubt that it sees new all-time highs. I just doubt that they come in by the end of the year. I doubt we see anything above $77 by the end of the year. and I'm more focused on that probably like $40 to $35 area, but by the end of the year. Not by the end of this move, by the end of the year. All right. But let's talk about BTCD and then go to bed. I wish I didn't even see that because I want to go to bed, man. I want to. Mr. Hat hit me with the good requests. All right. Last time I talked about dominance, I feel like for real, we're over here moving down, right? And I was saying, you know, I didn't know how low it would go, but I didn't think that this was the high, right? I think I did say that a lot of people were assuming that that was the highest. They were going to get into altcoins, thinking that the altcoin cycle was starting, but I was saying, no, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that we have a little bit more to go. We could go as high, guys, as 64%. I know if anybody watches Ben Cohen or anybody that talks about the Bitcoin dominance, there's a lot of people that think that this is it right here, but we could genuinely move up to 64%. We could. I'll show you those targets. And just beyond targets, we'll also go over more reasoning. But from a high to a low, probably this low, yeah. Yeah, your 786 is at 64.5% right there. That's your next target level, right? Just basically went right through your 618, crowded it, and then went right through it. Maybe you go all the way up to your, and we've seen this throughout the cycle where you go right up to your 786. You don't reject the 618. You just go right up to it, and then you get a massive correction, or you go down to your 786 and you get a massive pump, right? Maybe you do that here. I don't know, and that's very characteristic of what the BTC dominance likes to do, right? It likes to move down very fast. That's also very characteristic of this breaking through the 618, 786 rejection, slam down. If we look at the halving cycles, right, we go on a weekly period here, and we go back to 2016, July 9th, 2016. That was this week here. No, it would have been this week here. Okay, dominance dropped that following week, right? But you really didn't see the dominance start to like drop off a cliff until this week, right? That was about 35 weeks later. So after the halving, that's when dominance started to drop 35 weeks later. And it was torrential, man. It just went down. Huge. 35 weeks. Next halving was in 2020, May 11th, 2020. Whoop, that was not the right, it's not the right week. That's the right week. And then the dominance topped off 33 weeks later, where again, it started to drop a little bit, but I'd say it really didn't fall off a cliff until about 46 weeks later. But topped off at 33. I would rather have drawn it to the top on the last one, but it's just so, it's not the same, right? This is not, this is like early day stuff, like before altcoins really even, there were altcoins, but this is when like the first altcoin market like really came online, right? Just different. I don't know. I feel like 35 bars though before we really started to dump, 33 bars here before we really started to dump. It's pretty close, and even then we really picked up the pace later. Here from our current halving, right? April 20th, 2024 would have been this week. That was not the week, was it? Nope, no, that was not it. Yes, it was. My bad. From there to where we are now, we're at 30 weeks. 30 weeks, guys. Yeah, we could drop any minute now. It might be 3 more weeks. It might be 5 more weeks. It might be 10 more weeks. We don't have to stop in between this range. We can stop outside. There's only 2 iterations. I would say the odds are more probable that we would stop outside the range too early or outside of it too late rather than stopping in between it, right? That would make more sense to me, but anything's possible. Really, I'd say from this week on till, what would it be? Up until maybe like 40 weeks? Like just get a little bit of a deviation from that. Up until the end of January, that's when we're going to see the dominance really start to tank. But personally, and knowing what I know based off of that Bitcoin video that I did recently, I would assume that it's either by the end of this month, like literally the 25th, the week of the 25th of November. It's either that week, so we have 32 weeks that it takes for this dominance to top off, and then we start to drop, or it's between there or somewhere in the end of December, somewhere on the week 36 weeks. So it'd either be somewhere between 32 and 36 is my guess. I don't think that it'll start now. It could. This is 30 weeks in, right? But I'm thinking 32 to 36 weeks, somewhere in that window is when, and not specifically 32 weeks and not specifically 36 weeks. It could be specifically any of those weeks, but more specifically the range of the 25th of November to the 25th of December. Sometime in that range, which is very soon, we're going to see the dominance top off, and then we will see the beginnings of an altcoin season, unlike anything we've seen since 2021. Yeah, it's going to be nuts. Weekly RSI showing a little bit of bearish divergence. We've never, I think, had a top, a significant top with bearish divergence. Oh, I take that back. Actually, we did. Okay. Little bearish divergence there. Daily bearish divergence there as well. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. But I think it keeps moving up. I'm not completely convinced it moves up to 64.5%, but just where we are now, that's the only place that really makes sense to me. At least I would say 62.8. That makes sense from a percentage scale. But I would say around 63% to 64.5%. We're at 61 now. So all that means, right, if the dominance is going up, it means one of two things. It means Bitcoin's going to move up and the rest of the market's not going to move up as fast as it, which I think is more likely. Or the second thing, we're going to correct and the rest of the market drops more than Bitcoin, which, again, from the beginning of this video and referencing the video that I made yesterday, it's very unlikely that we do option 2. It's very unlikely that we see a market correction right now. So we're just coming out of a market correction, right? We're 2 weeks into breaking out of the market correction. I would think that this move up in the dominance probably comes from Bitcoin breaking above 100K. Everyone's selling their altcoins. Oh, you guys, that's what it is. People are going to make the mistake. They're going to sell their coins for Bitcoin because Bitcoin went up above 100K. Oh my goodness, that's why, isn't it? That's probably why. That's probably why. Sorry, little revelation there, a little epiphany there. But that's, I would bet that's what pushes it up, right? Because I can't even think, there's so many of you in the comments, in the Discord even, people who I know personally who are hitting me up and asking about why their coin isn't pumping, but Bitcoin's pumping, right? I was told if Bitcoin pumps 10%, my coin should pump 20% or more. What's happening? Is this broken? Did I choose the wrong coins? Should I switch it into something else? I'm not making fun of you guys. I'm actually making fun of a friend who I was talking to earlier today about this, who's probably not watching this, but we anyways, if that is you, again, I'm not making fun of you, but what I'm trying to say is don't swap your coins around, okay? Do not be the reason why this dominance goes higher. It's going to go higher with or without you, but don't be part of that movement. Because if you sell your coins, any altcoins now for Bitcoin, sure, it might move up. You know, Bitcoin's going to move up a little bit from its current price, right? And that's the thing. Psychologically, 100K sounds like a big deal, but guys, Bitcoin is at 87K right now. 100K for Bitcoin is only 15%. Let's say it goes all the way up to 120K. Okay? That's 37%. That's great. That's great. Let's say that happens by the end of the year. 37%, that's great. I would love that. I would love that. You guys, there's going to be any of your altcoins that you sell, any of them that contribute to you selling and you put it into Bitcoin and it moves up to 64.5% or 62.8% area, they're going to move up dramatically more in the same amount of time. They're going to, most altcoins, again, we just deciphered that the dominance is going to drop here pretty soon, right? By the end of the year, most likely. It's very safe to assume that the average altcoin is going to pump more than this from now until the end of the year, right? So don't do that, please. There's only 56 of you in here, and I'm going to end the video after this. But if there's one thing, and I'm sure most of you are already aware of this, but just one thing, don't swap coins around. Do not chase any, if it's not Bitcoin, it's another coin that's moved up in the last week or two, that the rules apply still to not switch it, all right? It doesn't, I'm not just talking about Bitcoin, but specifically don't trade your boring coins because your coins, you think you fucked up. Sorry for my language. You think you messed up. You think you made a mistake. You think that you chose the wrong coin or you listened to C-Zar or you listened to Crypto or whoever else out there and they got you onto a coin and it's not doing anything. You should have just stuck with Bitcoin, right? Or you should have stuck with Doge or you should have, like all these coins that are moving up right now. It's easy to say that now, right, while your coin's being boring. But I promise you, I very confidently can promise you and look you in the eye and say that any coin that you're holding right now that has not moved all cycle, it's going to be different here by the end of the year. We're going to start something up by the end of the year and going into next year. And it's going to be a lot bigger than 37.4% for any coin in the top like 100, 200, 300, 400. It's going to be insane, okay? So please do not trade your coins for a coin that has already been doing insane things. Don't trade your boring coins that have yet to do their insane things. They're going to take their turns. It's just not their turn yet. That's all. And seasonality-wise, we look at Bitcoin. It makes sense that it's not. This is about as long as it takes before we see the dominance drop after the halving. At least that's what we saw the last 2 cycles. So your altcoins are not broken. They're not. They're not broken. Every cycle we see this, where Bitcoin moves up away from the markets, right? I mean, we can go back in time. Let's look at, real quick, just to end the video, between April of 2019 to September of 2019. April 2019 to September of 2019. I don't know how well this will work out, but let's just try it. April, well, it's not really, that's not really a good example, is it? To September. Was it September or October? I forget. Bitcoin moved up more in that first month, but then it moved down. So that's why the dominance was moving up. It's because Bitcoin was just moving down less. It's different circumstances than what we're experiencing now. Never mind. I'm not going to go through and try and find the examples, but the fact of the matter remains the same. Every cycle this happens. At least every cycle since altcoins have existed, this happens, where Bitcoin will move up first, or altcoins will move up first, and Bitcoin's being boring, and then Bitcoin's exciting while altcoins are boring, right? They take their turns. Sometimes they move up together, and oftentimes they do, but the time when Bitcoin's moving up less than the rest of the market, it's not here yet, but it is shortly approaching. So don't sell your altcoins. Don't sell any of your low-cap coins for Bitcoin or for any coins that are pumped. It might be a good idea, but it's likely a terrible idea, so just don't do it, okay? Your time will come. Have patience. I'm talking to the right people, right, when I say have patience, because we've been consolidating for 8 months or 7.5 months, right? Please don't lose your patience now because 1 or 5 coins are moving up and yours isn't. Just be patient. I promise you. It'll all work out. We're not at the point yet where all the coins go crazy, but they will. If this is your second cycle, I don't know why I'm talking to you. You should know this. If this is your first cycle, let me reassure you and let anybody reassure you, this is exactly what happens, right? So I'm going to look at the comments at the bottom here. I'm not going to read all the comments through here. Patience is key. No Miggles, Sean Art. I feel like, didn't you ask for Miggles last time? We can talk about Miggles just for you. So we didn't talk about Miggles last time, but if it's anything what I remember, it's probably not that good. I don't know. That's decent volume. That's actually kind of decent. Oh, look at you. Look at you go. There we go. Look at that, man. Volume's coming back in, too. What's the market cap on this thing, actually? Let's see. All the kitty cat meme coins are doing well tonight, man. It's a Miggles pajama party tonight, baby. 74. Okay, so it's kind of high volume. Or high market cap, I'm sorry. That's decent volume for the market cap, too, actually. Okay, cool. Mr. Miggles. Is this the right one? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Well, you were overbought as hell. Now you're chilling off, but it's only been 1 day. I don't know if you are cooling off yet. Yeah, bearish divergence. Yeah, okay, so you probably chill today or tomorrow. You might consolidate Miggles right around here for like the next week or two. But by the end of the month, if not certainly going into next month, I think you break out some new all-time highs. And where are those all-time highs going to be? From a high to a low? I'd expect anywhere from 21 cents to 43.8 cents. You're at 7.7 cents now, and these are by the end of the year targets. Absolutely they are. They could even be by the end of the month targets, but time will tell. We'll see. You might consolidate for like the next week or two, and then by the end of the month you're up here, but if not very early next month, you're going to be moving up here. And by the end of the year, you could even be higher. But yeah, it looks good, man. It looks pretty good. I like the volume. I don't mind it. This volume is so much smaller than that volume over here. Yeah, but if you take that volume away, this volume is increasing compared to anything. We haven't seen volume like this since August, right? July. right? And it looks pretty good, but you need to keep going, right? If you do find resistance, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that you're not going to see new all-time highs and that this thing's going to go to zero. Prove me wrong and just get back below 5.38 cents. If you get back below 5.38 cents on a closing daily basis or more, then I'm wrong. This thing sucks and it's going to zero. But I don't think so. I think you got a triple bottom look here, and you look healthy. You look like you want to continue going. So, yeah, no problem, Sean Art. I feel like I owed you one, man. So I got you. Jeffrey Kent, I love Ethan, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming over here, man. Thank you, Ethan. A lot of you have, you know, I don't want to say migrated because that implies that you left that channel, right? I still watch Ethan's channel. I hope everybody watches Ethan's channel, right? I hope there's no migration, just more of a culmination of views. But yeah, Ethan's great, man. He's a great human being, honestly. I don't know him personally, but you know, I just like hearing him talk, looking into him a little bit, and just like some of the things he says on his YouTube channel. You can tell he's definitely a good guy, and he wants to help people out. He's not like a lot of people in the crypto space who are just trying to get money out of the people who are watching. He's trying to get you money, right? Most people in the crypto, and that's I think why me and Ethan vibe so well, is because we're similar in that respect, right? We're not after your money. We're after your success. We want every person who's watching our channel to make money. Obviously, that's not going to happen. We're all different. We all have different levels of progress and professionalism and emotion and maturity in handling money and how it comes. But we don't want your money, right? Most channels in crypto, you'll see them advertising stuff. You'll see them having the affiliate links and whatever. And that's cool. You know, it's okay, I think, to have that, but maybe not to just like stuff it down your viewers' throats and advertise it. And like people don't know what they're doing sometimes, right? Like they're new to the space. They get taken advantage of or make bad mistakes. I don't know. But collaboration, I would love to, man. I've been wanting to for a while. The first message Ethan ever sent me was through YouTube comments. He wanted to do an interview with me. But I think he's a busy guy. I think because I've tried hitting him up for an interview a couple times, or like a little collaboration video, and he hasn't gotten back to me. So I don't take it personal. I just think that he's probably busy. He's got other things going on, and maybe he didn't know if I was a legit account or a scam account when I hit him up. But no, man, I don't know. I'm sure we'll see more of him whenever the Grayscale trusts come alive. It's really hard not to be excited and not be celebrating with people whenever things come alive, right? Yeah. Thank you, Pac-Man. Appreciate you, brother. Tanner Gonser. I'm gonna go to bed. This is the last one. I skipped through a lot of requests, and I did this one just because I know I owed Sean, but I will talk about GME tomorrow. My BCH average, I don't know. Below 220. It's below 220. Or maybe it's below, maybe it is 226. The lowest that I've bought this cycle, it was like 165 or 175, whatever that dip was for Bitcoin Cash. But I want to say my average is actually like 220 or somewhere around there. Yeah. It's been a while since I've looked at it. It might have gone up recently because I haven't done my average in a while, but I have bought Bitcoin Cash a few times since the last time I did that. So, but I don't know. We'll stick with 220. I'll figure that out. Thank you. Yeah. You know, you get it when there's people who've been following Ethan longer than me, right? You guys got in at earlier prices, right before that initial big pump, even, right? But let's see. What's up, Dennis? How you doing, my man? Rizzo Surfing. What's up, brother? Thank you, man. I've been loving. You know, I'm not gonna do Gaycoin. We're just BSing at this point right now, guys. I appreciate you, Jeffrey. Thank you, man. I hope everyone is loving this cycle. Good night. Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. I appreciate you, my friend. The best thing to remember, though, one of the most solid pieces of advice that I heard today, you guys, from somebody who was advocating that most people will probably sell too early, and it sounded like he was going to be one of them, but he thinks he's not going to be, but we'll see. But even if you are to sell early, and maybe not too early, it all depends, but the best decision you can make, I think, when you do decide to sell is to not get back in, right? When it's time to sell, just like whenever it was time to buy, you made that decision, right? You sucked it up. You're like, it's time to buy. I'm going to buy for the long term. I'm not going to sell till the end of the cycle. When it's time to sell, don't play the game of trying to get back in. Oh, I want to get this last little bit. Oh, I could make a little bit. Like, just screw that. Sell whenever you do. Maybe it's too early. Maybe it's too late. Maybe it's right on time. But whenever you sell, just wait. Everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people are saying wait 12 months is what I hear. I'm going to say wait 6 months. Wait 6 months before thinking about getting back in, because I do think the bear market's going to be shorter this cycle around, but we'll see. Definitely don't get back in. Yeah, talk to yourself, right? I had to talk to myself because I'm a bit of a degenerate. I like to gamble, right? I like to squeeze that lemon sometimes and get all the juice, but you got to have that talk with yourself and be like, look, when I'm selling it, I'm not looking back. All right, we're done. It's over, right? I'm going to just keep selling, and obviously not all at once. You're going to systematically sell pieces of it as time goes on, but yes. Well, Jonathan B, yes, it can be. I don't know. Sometimes if you sell late, the price can be higher than if you sell early, can't it? Right? Like if we're looking at Bitcoin, right? Like if you sold too early in the sense of right here, I guess not. This is not a good cycle to go off of, right? Because if you sold too early here, well, you could have still sold late and you still made more money. But if you sold too late, that would have definitely been way worse there. But in prior cycles, which we don't have available on Coinbase, but on prior cycles, if you sold like right when you broke your all-time high, which a lot of people might do, right, or you sold here, that is way too early. And then even if you sold late, you're going to be selling at higher prices than you ever would if you sold early. But I don't know. It's all circumstantial, you know. Round tripping something or selling late definitely does suck, because then you've got the gains and then you see them being taken away. Where if you sell early, you're living that euphoria and you feel like you sold at the greatest time, even if you see it take off after. So maybe selling early is better, I guess, actually. As long as you have the tenacity to not get back in. I'm just not selling anything until the end. Yeah, there you go. That's what I want to do. I'm in the same. I'm not going to sell anything until the end of the cycle, you guys. I hope, Dennis. I hope, man. I hope we get this right. I hope we definitely do. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I appreciate you, Epsilon. I'm not going to do any BLZTA. I will tell you, it's not dead. It's gonna be just fine. It will be. You just got to give it time. Be patient, okay? But it'll be fine. Make sure to share with less fortunate ones if you guys make anything more than your need. Absolutely, Pac-Man. That's what I intend to do. I got a lot of people, man, that are family and are like family people that I care about. That I've tried honestly to help them get into crypto this time, and they haven't. But I've got a lot of family members who have. I don't know, man. I've got a plan with what I want to do with as far as that goes. I've got a plan with what I want to do with the gains from this cycle that are all about me and my family. But I do have a plan with helping people out too. But that might be next cycle stuff. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Me too, man. Now's a great time to buy some BCH. I almost bought some today, honestly, but I'm not. I didn't. I think I actually would probably buy more mana right now, but I have a lot of BCH. I think now is a great time to buy BCH. Yeah. I only bought more mana because I don't have as much mana as I want, but I have a lot of BCH. That's my biggest bag at the moment, right? We're not going to look at Sun Token, Andy 1. I'm going to go to bed, guys. I've been drawing out this process for too long. It's 10:32. I meant to go to bed at 10. I just suck at goodbyes. So thank you guys for all being here. Mr. Hat bought and longed many coins today. Hell yeah, bro. I think today's probably a good day, man, because like at the worst, we got one more day of moving down at the worst, and I don't even think that happens, right? Statistically speaking, we're probably on the up and up, but you never know. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes, but yeah. No, I don't get why it's hard to convince Drew. Drew, it's over. I don't get why it's hard to convince people to get into crypto. Doesn't make any sense. For me, it was like I stumbled upon it and I obsessed with it immediately. I didn't have to have somebody force it down my throat, but it's like I have to force it down people's throats. I literally, for free, drove to my hometown, which is like a 3-hour drive from where I am now. I guess 3.5 hours. and I held classes like at the public library, and I made a post on my Facebook, like my local, like for people who know me personally, like I just like a local thing, and had a bunch of people give positive reviews saying that they were going to go, and only 2 people showed up. But I would go back, I would take the drive, 3.5 hours there, 3.5 hours back. I would do it and waste my day. I wouldn't even be wasting my day if only 1 person showed up. Like I was ecstatic that even 2 people showed up, right? But had like 60 or 70 people like the comment and on Facebook, and only 2 people showed up. So it is hard to get people in crypto. It's hard to get people to be serious about their finances because finances aren't sexy and it's scary. I don't know. Best I can do is 2,000 mana. There we go. That's phenomenal. Good job. I'm a wild man. Thank you. Telling people about they don't care. I know, man. I don't. What do you think about mana goes? I don't know. Mana. I shouldn't be doing this. I hold mana, so this one gets special treatment. But I'm probably making people sad or feel violated that I didn't do their requests. $13, $38 minimum target zone. Absolute potential to go higher than that. You're at 32, and I mean this. I very much mean this. Yes. Minimum potential, maximum potential. You could even go past that genuinely. I'm going to end the video, guys. I'm just not going to go to sleep at this point, so I need it. I'm getting all hot and sweaty in this robe, and I got nothing else to say. We're just BSing. What are you guys doing, right? We're not even talking about crypto. We're just BSing right now, man. You should leave your crypto wallet so you can get gifts from viewers. I will start doing that. I definitely will start doing that, Hussein. I just got to get some wallets figured out, right? Because there are wallets that I have. I want to make sure. I just want to get the wallets worked out, essentially. Like I don't want my wallets to be public information. I want to have donation wallets specifically, and that doesn't take much time. I could probably do it while doing this here, but I'm not going to. I'll just do it some other day. But I appreciate you, Hussein. Thank you, my friend, and thank you all who've been watching this video, watching this YouTube channel, been around and just showing support. I really appreciate all of you guys. We're all going to do really well this cycle, right? And doing well is great, but you got to cash out, right? Anybody can make profits. I have the utmost faith. There's 67 people in here. I have the utmost faith that if you're not like day trading like a degenerate, unless you have experience doing it and you actually have like positive results, I have the utmost faith that all of us are going to see gains this cycle. We're going to see immense gains this cycle. I don't have the utmost faith that all of us will capitalize on those gains because emotions run high. So prepare yourself, right? Sell. Anybody can make profits. Only the professionals take profits. Be like a professional. Do not round trip your bags, okay? Easier said than done. It's really easy to say, you know, oh, I would have sold up here. No, you wouldn't. You probably wouldn't. You want to say you would have sold up here? You probably would have sold down here. You probably would have been so ecstatic that it would have kept going higher, and then it dropped, and you would have sold down here. You know, like it's hard. It's really hard to know when the top is, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is that you do get out, right? You got in so that you'd get out, right? Unless you're setting up for like a 10-year or longer investment. But you guys, I really got to go to bed at this point. Hello, Juan Leva. Good to see you, my friend. BBL, good to see you. Epsilon, Drew, it's over. Thank you all for being here. Ciao, Jonathan. Let this man sleep. Corvette dude, Mr. Hat, everybody. Anybody else that I didn't say hi to? Pac-Man, Andre Miller. I mean, I said hi to probably everybody, but I just wanted to make sure, yeah. Missed out on a big sum of money that would have changed my situation. Haven't we all, Mr. Hat? But I guess I'll leave it with this perspective, okay? Okay, everyone buy mana. I don't know. I'll leave it with this perspective, you know. It's the same kind of logic that I had whenever I was living at my mom's house, okay? And I'd been trading, I'd been messing around with crypto, looking at different things, but I didn't officially buy because I was waiting on a pullback. That's what everyone was saying. I was waiting on a pullback, and it never came. It kind of came here, and I waited. It just never came. Finally, it came, and I bought. It was here. It was this month, right? It came down, then it came back up to like 18K. I put like 5K in here, okay? And I had been messing with Bitcoin. I'd owned Bitcoins before, and I'd been trading before, but this is like when I really started to get serious about the markets, okay? Had 5K, At 18K, went all the way down to 6K. I sold it there. It went back up to 12K. I bought there. It went back down to 6K. I sold there, right? All the time working, saving up money on my paychecks, living at my mom's house, putting in every cent that I have because I could, because I was living at my mom's house, putting every cent that I had into Bitcoin and just pissing it away, trading it, losing it, right? And what I thought was exactly what you just said, right? Missed out on a big sum of money that would have changed my situation, and I missed out on it because I made mistakes, right? I made mistakes. But those mistakes costed what? $5,000, $10,000. It's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Nobody would want to lose that money. I don't care how rich you are. Nobody wants to just lose $5,000 or $10,000, right? Nobody would want to see that. But the amount of money that I pissed away, that I squandered there, whenever I was, I missed out and I made a big sum that would have changed my situation as well. I made the mistakes while the money was small, so that now that the money's getting big, now that the money's gotten big over the years, I'm not going to make those mistakes, or at least you better know how to avoid. It's better to make those mistakes before the serious gains come in, right? So yes, maybe you missed out on a big sum of money that would have changed your situation, and I'm saying that to Mr. Hat, but that could be for any of you. But going forward, you'll only be better off at handling the situations, right? You'll only manage your money better, because whenever you mismanage money or mismanage opportunities, it hits you, it sticks with you. And hopefully going forward, and if you don't learn from it, sometimes it takes a long time, guys. Sometimes it genuinely takes years. And what they say, statistically speaking, about people who lose money in the markets, right? It's something like 90% of market participants lose money, 10% make money. Right? But something out of that 90% that lose money, it's like 60%, 66% stop trying. They quit, they give up, right? Out of that 10% of people that make money in the markets, do you think they ever gave up? You know what I mean? Like you have an edge if you just don't give up. And it might take years, man. It took me, let's see, 17. It took me over 3 years to become profitable. It took me, probably, maybe even 4 years, honestly. Maybe even 4 years, because it was Doge, and Doge topped off in May. But I was profitable in that initial run up. I don't know. I'm not going to go through all that now. But all I'm trying to say is it can take time, right? You can literally be living at your mom's house, pissing away everything, making the wrong trades left and right, and then the next cycle, you've made your first $100,000. And then you know what it's like to make $100,000 in a 24-hour period, and then you know what it's like to lose $200,000, right? You get the bigger gains and the bigger losses, right? I definitely walked away with some money last cycle, right? But I'm just using those as examples, right? You're not always making money, and you're not always losing money. The mistakes you make early on hopefully are with less money than more money. That way, the mistakes you make later will be better. But man, I'm philosophizing. I really should go to bed, guys. What's wrong with me? Why am I still talking? All right, I'm gonna go to bed for real. I hope you all have a good night. I hope that all made sense. Take care. I gotta end. I'm gonna read this. It's going good, Pranjal, Gimir. Retrospectively holding would have been better than. Yeah, everybody says that, right? And Mr. Hat. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I swear, guys. Okay. There are some big YouTube accounts who are trying to play this market, and I watch their crypto. I watch their total Bitcoin, in their wallets. And it's gone down. They're making money. Their US dollar has gone up, but even the big dogs like Carl from the Moon, right? Da Vinci, right? Crypto. I think Crypto has actually been doing good, but they're losing Bitcoins. They're making US dollars, but they're losing Bitcoins because they're doing all these trades and stuff and they make more Bitcoins because of their channels and because of other streams of income and stuff. But yeah, don't play the game, guys. Don't play the game too much. Because you will, even if you got a lot of money, you can lose things. It's better to just hold in the long term, especially with assets like Bitcoin. All right, I really got to go. I'm done. 43 minutes, y'all. 43 minutes.